Hello, everyone. Glenda Mollet here, and welcome to my craft room. Just let me scoot over a bit so you don't get my camera in the middle of my face. So, hello, everybody. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the west coast of Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. And tonight I have a super amazing fun fold for you. Let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm just making sure that it's running over there on Facebook so I can visit with all my peeps while I do this. Hey, Janet. Okay, so, oh my gosh, this card. Have you guys done a triple planter card before? I hadn't. I've seen them, but I hadn't done one. And this one piqued my interest when I saw it because it uses my favorite stamp set and dies that are retiring from the mini catalog. And they will be gone. Oops, there you go. They will be gone as of the 2nd of May. But are you ready for the inside? Hey, Norma, are you ready? Look at this. Oh, look at that. Is that ever exciting? Let me tell you. It took me a minute or two to figure out how to do this. Oh, my rhino class. Yes, coming up, I'll give you details about that soon. So here's the front, and it's a pretty card, and it's really not too basic, but it's a okay card. But it has this gusset thing on the side, and I thought, well, why is that like that? Because why not just have that sealed? Well, it's very simple because if you seal that, then it's going to pull apart anyways because it's so thick in the middle. All right, you ready for the inside again? Look at this. Just look at that. So the card actually, when it stands, you can see it needs that little bit there just so that it stands properly. And of course, I've added a lot of Wink of Stella to the puff balls because I love the puff balls. Hey, Nicole. Hi, Terry. Yeah, so we're going to make that. So there's the envelope. I did a template for this one, like I normally do. Hey, Pat. Uh-oh, Facebook user. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, where are my comments over there on Facebook? I better refresh that to see because, Holly. Hey, Connie. Okay, who is Facebook user after Terry? After Terry. Oh, it's Holly. Holly's there. Okay, sorry. Hi, Val. It takes me a while to figure these things out. I don't know. I don't understand why StreamYard shows your name sometimes and doesn't show your name other times. It's got me befuddled. Okay, so here's the template I made. And I always write down the sizes and stuff on here, but this one had a lot of different sizes, so I just typed it out and put it right on the back. I always do this now for fun folds because sometimes you don't know what the name of the fun fold is and you want to make it. Then all I have to do is go back to I'll show you my fun fold box. I have a fun fold box. Here you go. So there's my fun fold box. So that has all of my templates. If I know the name of them, I put them in a plastic bag with the name of the fun fold on it. And I also have, remember we did that live class with all the ways to use designer paper. So that's on that side of it. And this side is fun folds. So if I want to make a fun fold, I just go in there and I flip through till I find what I want to make. Okay, so tonight I am using Forever Fern, the stamp set, and Forever Flourishing, the dies. They're gone. They're sold out. So I can't even tell you to go buy them before they retire because they're gone. So I apologize for that. And so many things are gone. And scallop contour dies. you sent my card that I cased from your car. I know. Isn't that cool? Okay, and then I'm going to finish it off with some in color opal rounds, and they are also retiring. So I have, oh, and the sentiment is from Something Fancy because I wanted something fancy. Oops. Let's just knock my light right over. All right. Let me get my, so I posted the recipe in my VIP group. So if you didn't get it, there was an error, and I think it was Holly that pointed it out to me. And thank you, Holly, because I did discover 2 errors. So I fixed them. So the one that's up there now is the correct one. So you need a piece of basic white to do all the stamping on. So there's a lot. So I just threw in a big piece. Then I use fresh Freesia on this one, and I use Blackberry Bliss on this one. 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5, 6 3/4, and 8. And then another piece that is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then, let me find them. There's the planter pieces. So there's 3 planters in here. There's a big one and 2 small ones. Okay. So for the big one, you need 6.5 by 1.5, scored at 1, 3, 4, and 6. For the little ones, you need 2 that are 6 by 2 1/4, scored at, well, 1 6 by 2 1/4, scored at 3/4, 2 3/4, 3.5, and 5.5. And then you cut it in half so that you have 2 that are 6 by 1 1/8. Yeah, 6 by 1 1/8. Then inside the planters, you see those little pieces in there that are called the tabs. And you need 3 tabs. Okay, I have 2. Where's the third one? Wait. So the big one, the one for the big one is 1 3/8, 1 3/8 by 2 3/4. And it's scored at 3/8 of an inch on each end. And then there's supposed to be 2 of these, but I don't know where my second one is. Uh-oh. I might have to cut. Oh, wait, it's inside the envelope. Yay. Okay, so 2 of these that are, you do 2 5/8 times 2 inches, scored at 3/8 of an inch on both sides, and then cut it in half. So you have 1 inch by 2 5/8. So those are the pieces that go on the inside. And then for the front, I have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to cut the scallop tag out of it before I put it on the card. And then I have a piece of vellum, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I'm going to die cut that one. Wait, you can't see it. And then I have a piece of designer paper that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And we'll see which side we want to use for that. And then for the inside, I have 2 pieces that are 5 1/4 by 4. So we'll decide which side we want for those 2. You just have to make sure that you get the right one for the front because it has to layer onto this white piece. So it's 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around. This piece is 3 by 4, and I'm going to die cut that. Then there's a piece of basic white that is 3 1/4 by 2, and that's for this here, and that's what you write on. Okay, are you guys just not commenting, or am I missing it all? Are you still there? Probably busy writing down all these measurements, and I will try and remember to post them in the description of the video. There was no vellum on the list. Well, it's because I didn't put, hi Dimity, I didn't put that on there because I just gave you the measurements for the basics, I believe. So whatever you want to use for the decoration of the thing. And then for the inside, to cover the planters, you need 1 7/8 by 1 times 2, and then 1 7/8 by 1 3/8. And then I have a piece to do a bunch of stamping on. Okay, so I know I went really fast, but I'll go through them again as we're using them. All right, so the base is 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. You can't write that small? I don't understand. 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then you're going to score it at 5 1/2, 6 3/4, and 8. So that's the main base. And then you're going to fold it like this. So you want like a W, an upside down W. So 6 or 8 1/2 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, 6 3/4, and 8. Oh, the piece I put in is too small to write on. Well, just do a bigger one. You've got lots of room in there. We can add a bigger one in there. I tend to put Post-it notes in my cards anyways, because that way people can reuse them if they need them. Okay, so there's the base. Now this piece that is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 is going to layer onto that. Now just let me see which way I put the, okay. So it's going to layer on like this. So I'm going to put adhesive on. I guess I could put it this way too instead, but that way you would have it showing on the back. If you do it this way, then when you put your designer paper on there, it covers up most of it. So people tend to not see it. So that's why it's done the way it's done. So flip it over and put adhesive. Oops, I dropped my adhesive just before I went live. And apparently I need to vacuum my craft room. Seriously. Okay, is anybody crafting along with me? Do I need to go slower? Or are you just writing down the recipe? So there we go. There's our base. 8 1/2 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, 6 3/4, and 8. And then you just piece on a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch piece. You can't see through my hands. Okay, who's trying to do? Oh, Pat's writing. Dimity is. Okay, I'll go slower. All right, so when you get this together, you do a valley, a mountain, and a valley. So you want it to look like this. a valley, a mountain, and a valley. So you're making an M. There's another Facebook user. Who is that? I don't know what's going on with Facebook right now. It's not showing me any of the comments. Oh, Marlene. Hello, Marlene. Holly's trying to do both. Shanna is working, and she is doing it in her mind. So at least she's not going to have any boo-boos on her card. All right, so there we go. That's the base of this whole thing. And then you have to put your designer paper on the inside before we put the planters, because they go on top. So I'm going to get the two pieces and get them ready. And I want you to tell me, should I put the pattern side out? Oh, yes, that's good. I don't like that part. Oh, Val, too bad. Okay, I'm not even going to ask your opinion on which side of the designer paper I should use, because I don't like the plain side. This is what designer paper am I using? Was it Pretty Prints? Maybe? Okay, let's see which side I want up. Let's do it this way. All right, I'm going to put it on this side. I like making sure the side that you're going to see more readily is even. I don't care about, well, I do care, but I'd rather have it even out here where people are going to see it than even here. Okay, let me show you what paper. Yes, it's pretty. It's the Pretty Prints paper, and it's retiring. I'm sad because it's so pretty. Janet got the base. Yay. That's the important part. So then put your designer paper on it, Janet, and then you'll be ready to do the planters. Now, the planters can be a bit tricky because that piece that's in the middle there, what did they call it? The tabs. I couldn't get it to work for me very well. So I kind of had to fudge it a bit. All right, so there we have our card with the designer paper on there now. DSP is 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, Janet. Regular inside size, nothing fancy. Okay. All right. So while I'm waiting for people to catch up to that part, I'm going to tell you that there's an issue with my Rhino class, and I am not a happy camper. This is supposed to be in May, but right now it's not telling me. It's telling me that the dies are not available to order, therefore the bundle's not available to order, but it doesn't give me a date, and there's no indication whether they're getting a resupply of them or not, because this is part of the online exclusives, right? So we don't know when they're going to retire. So I may not be having my Rhino class unless you come in person or you have the bundle already. I just have to move this out of the way so I can work where you can see it. So this one is the big one. So it's 6 1/2 by 1 1/2. And it's scored, sorry, get it the right way around. Scored at 1, 3, 4, and 6. So I'm going to fold these. You've got to make sure that you get these lined up on the edges, because you need your square to be square. And you're just going to fold them, keep folding it around in a box. Yeah, I know. Oh, boo, right? Valerie, we leave in the middle of May. We go to England in the middle of May. So what Valerie is talking about is the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip that I was lucky enough to earn because of you guys last year. And I because I'm talking about it, I also have to tell you that it's not typical and only about 0.1% of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators actually earn the trip. So I've done my due diligence and tell you it's not common. Okay, so I'm doing the little ones too. So these ones started out being, hang on, 6 by 2.25, and then I scored it at 3/4, 2 3/4, 3.5, and 5.5. And then you cut it in half. Who is that wanted the scoring? I can't see. Ooh. It's not showing me the ones that say Facebook users, so I don't know who you are, Facebook user, but the first one is the large planter, so that's the one in the middle, is scored at 1, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, the large one, 1, 3, 4, and 6. And then the small ones are scored at 3/4, 2 3/4, 3.5, and 5.5. And you should have 2 of those. They're both scored in the same because they're both the same size. So now I am folding this over. Okay, so we have them. And then all you're going to do is fold them like this. See, one side's got a 1/2-inch tab and the other side's got a bigger tab. So the bigger tab goes on the outside and the smaller tab goes on the inside. And then you're going to do this with them and turn them into a box. Yes, Janet, 1 1/8 inch wide when finished. Yep. 1 1/8 by 6. The small ones are 1 1/8 by 6 times 2. So there's 2 of them. All right, then you put your adhesive on the smaller of the 2 ends, because that's what goes on the inside. And I'm just going to get them, all 3 of them, done at the same time. Okay, then to make it square, fold this over. So there's my adhesive. Can you see where my adhesive is? And I folded this over like that. Make sure you get them nice and straight, because if you don't get it straight, it screws everything up. And then you take the big tab from the other side and just fold it over on top of it. That makes sure that it's going to lay straight when you collapse your card. So there we go. There's the big one. So I'll show you again using the small one. So I'm folding over the tab that has the adhesive. I'm folding it over on the first score line past where the adhesive is. And the adhesive is on the outside, not on the inside. Hi, Carmen. And then you just fold over the big tab on the other end and match them up. And that way you've got a lovely square box. Hang on. A lovely square box that when you collapse the card, it's nice and flat. Okay, one more time because we've got a third one. Got my adhesive on here, folding this over like that. Then taking the big one from the other side and just fold it over on top of it. Oops, wait, see, I went too fast and I didn't get that straight. Got to make sure they're straight. Otherwise, it's not going to lay flat, and then you really have problems. Okay. So there we go. We got 3 of them, 2 small ones and 1 big one. Now, the next step is to put the tabs on the inside, and you're going to need 3 tabs. You need one that is 2 3/4 by 1 3/8, scored at 3/8 of an inch on each edge. And then you need 2 that are 2 5/8 by 1 inch. 2 5/8 by 1 inch, scored at 3/8 of an inch on each end. Okay, so now we're going to burnish those score lines. And this is the step where you have to let your OCD go. Because in reality, those score lines should have been, instead of 3/8, convert that into 16ths. So that would have been 6/16. And your score line should have been at 5/16. So if you want to get really technical, then you want 5/16. But that's just an extra measurement step, and I didn't want to do it. So I just put it in there and then squish it, and it works. Okay, now I need my mat, because now I have to put adhesive on all of those tabs, those 3/8 inch tabs, all 6 of them on the outside. So they're going to bend over like this. So you've got the adhesive on the top side. So flatten them out and run your adhesive on both ends. Now, you can use tear and tape for this if you have it. And then finally, the last one. Probably a lot easier to do tear and tape, but you know, this is what I have here, so that's what I'm using. Oh, another Facebook user that I can't see the name of. And Facebook is not playing nice with the comments. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, Nancy. Hello, Nancy. Every time I want to see who that is, I have to go over there and refresh it. Tell you, it's driving me crazy. Crazy, I say. Okay, now these, you need to figure out which way they're going to attach to your card. So you want, see this, that's the side, oh, it's really dark there. That's the side that has the join in it. So that's the part that's going to go against there, that gets attached to the card base itself. So this, you want it to be facing the front. So I folded the little tabs. It is Facebook's job to drive us crazy. I agree with you. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in here. You see, you slide it in and then go down so that it's even-ish there. If it's not exactly even, it's not a big deal. And put that on that side. Hang on. You see what it looks like now? So the folded over tabs face the back, and they're right up against the back like that. And it is a bit shorter, and it's supposed to be a bit shorter. And then you just take it, lay it down, and flatten it out. This is where you could end up with a little bit of finagling. And I put it the other way and do the same thing, just because I want it to lay nice and flat when that card is closed. So there's the big one. We'll do one of the little ones. So one is going to go the same way. So I have my join here, and it's going to attach This one is going to attach this way. Hang on. Where's my join? There's my join. This one's going to attach this way, so that's going to attach to the side there. And then this one attaches to the side of this. So that's the way it's going to go. I've got my join on this side, and then I'm going to take my 2 tabs. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I probably shouldn't have used Blackberry Bliss because it's really a dark color and it's difficult to see the detail. So that gets attached right there. And then this one goes over to the other side in exactly the same spot. And if they don't go right to the top, it's not a big deal. Just put it on there. And then, so I've got, there's that second one. You do the same thing, lay it down and just burnish it because that makes those tabs attach. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it the other way so that it lays down nice and flat both ways. Okay, so there we go. There's number 1 and there's number 2. How are you doing? You good? I can take a break if somebody needs to. If somebody needs a little bit more time, let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue on because we still have number 3. Now, number 3 goes on the other side. So you want your join to be on this side, but you want the side that has the join in it. See there? That's where the flap is. Okay, who's that needs? Okay, Dimity needs a little bit more time. Okay. What can I talk about while I give Dimity a little bit more time? Okay. So if my rhinoceros class goes ahead, it's going to be on May the 31st. Now, I have to do this because it's also my club for May. Huh. I don't know why Stampin' Up does this. It hurts my heart. Anyways, right now, 3 cards plus brushed brass butterflies. Say that really fast 3 times for $35. That's the kits for 3 cards plus the butterflies. I'm not going to even tell you about this one right now because I don't know whether I can get the bundle for you. I can get the stamp set. So what I can do, you missed one of the score lines for the small box. All right. It is 3/4, 2 3/4, 3.5, and 5.5. Okay. All right. So what I can do is if you want this one, the bundle plus the butterflies, you get the kits for free for this. But you can still get the stamp set right now. If it gets to the point where we can't get the dies now in time for the class, but they're coming later, then I can honor the 10% discount and get the dies for you when they come in. If you want to do just the stamp set, or if the dies are not coming back, then I will reprice this to include just the stamp set. And I will do all of the die cutting for you that needs to be done for the class. Okay, let's carry on. So this is number 3, and it's going to attach on this side. So I've put my overlap here with the open part at the back. And then we're going to put the final tab in here exactly the same way we've done the other 2. So it just slides in there. So I have this whole birthday special thing happening. Have you guys seen the first post that happened yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning? Okay, so I put it in there. Oh, that one didn't go to the back. It's not really critical that it go to the back, but it was still loose enough. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that it's not sticking up anywhere. and then lay it down and burnish it. So this, for the next 4 weeks, I have specials happening. And then on May the 4th, there's a final special. Now, May the 4th just happens to be my birthday. I'm going to be 23 because I'm always 23. And it will be my 43rd annual 23rd birthday, just in case anybody's asking. So this week, I have the what's it called? Naturally gilded paper at 15% off. So you get this, I think it's $11.70 instead of $13.75. Next week it'll be something else. So if you want to partake of that, you don't have to order just one package of paper. You email me and you say, I want this week's special. Hang on to it until the rest of the orders come or the rest of the weeks happen. So I'll just write you down on a list to get this naturally gilded designer paper at 15% off. You're always 39. Oh, Valerie, good. That's awesome. 50 cards for a 50th birthday. Nice. Okay, so then next week when the special happens, you email me or message me and say, I want that special as well, and just hang on till the rest of them happen. And then after the next one, and then the next one. So there's 4 in total, and then one final one on the 4th. Then you can order everything at once on the 4th. But say I'm giving 50% off on my birthday, which I'm not. Okay, I'm not. Just to let you know, I'm not giving 50% off on my birthday. But if I was, and you ordered the naturally gilded designer paper at 15% off, it stays at that. It doesn't give the 50% off, does not give you 50% off of the 15% off. It would give you 50% off of the catalog list price of $13.75. Just so there's no confusing. They are not accumulative, so one does not apply to any of the other ones. But by the time the whole thing is over, you may change your mind and decide that you want to use a different one of the specials for whatever, but you won't because you're going to love the specials. Anyways, okay, so now we're going to attach. Oh, no, I was going to attach it, but then I remembered you don't do that because I did that the first time around when I did my template. Put the designer paper on first. Okay, so that designer paper is close. I think I'll use that side. So just pop on your designer paper. So this is, hang on, I'll find it. There's so many. 1 7/8 by 1 3/8. There's so many measurements for this card. 1 7/8 by 1 3/8. And that's going to go onto the big one. Lay it down. Plop your designer paper on there. See, it's so much easier if you do it before you put it on your card. I don't know why I didn't think of that the first time around, but sometimes the brain doesn't work all the way. And then the little ones are 1 7/8 by 1. And there's 2 pieces that size because you have 2 planters. See, all of this, and I haven't even started the stamping part yet. But this card is so beautiful. And I want to say hello to all of you out there who watch and don't comment. I do appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And to everybody who catches the replay, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're watching it on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All you have to do is just down there's a little red subscribe button. Just click on that and then hit the bell icon. And that way you will get notification when I upload all my videos. because the ones that happen in my VIP group on Thursdays, which is this one, they go to my YouTube channel, but I don't post the link anywhere. So if you are not part of my VIP group or subscribe to my channel with the bell, you won't know it's there because I don't share the link. Okay, so now I'm going to put adhesive. This is the big planter. Put adhesive on the part that is going to attach. So on the left-hand side, this is the part that's going to attach there, and on the back. So if you lay it flat with your designer paper down, you will have, that's where the join is in the designer, in the cardstock. And we put, uh-oh, I better not be frozen, Connie. Oh, tell me I'm not frozen, please. Is anybody else having trouble with me? Okay, let me rephrase that. Is anybody else having problem with my video freezing? Okay, so now I'm going to put this, there's the adhesive, and there's the adhesive. So I'm going to put this right up against that fold and line it up right at the bottom here. And then make sure you manipulate that fold because you don't want it binding when you close it. Oh, good, I'm not frozen. Okay, but you need to have it close enough that it's not going to pull either. It's a very tight line, and so I'm putting that down. So I've got adhesive on the bottom and adhesive here where that fold is. And then I'm just going to take this side of the card and fold it over top there and then burnish it. So if I open this up, I can give it a good rub and then flip it over to the back. Oh, good, I'm not frozen. Oh, good. Oh, yay, I'm so glad nobody's catching me frozen. Okay, so there we go. There's our first planter. And you see, when you close it, it lays down. That was why it was really important to take this thing and lay it down and burnish it so that when it lays down, it's nice and flat and it will have the least amount of bulk in there. Okay, so now let's put the second one on that side. There's where I have the join in the designer paper. So this is going to have adhesive on this side to attach to the side of that planter. Is this all making sense? I'm hoping that people are able to, oops, keep getting adhesive all over my paper. Then everything's going to stick to it. The good thing is that you can go back afterwards and watch the replay again, and you can pause it and stop it so that it's making sense to you. So I've got my adhesive now on that side, and I'm going to flip this, lay it down flat. There's the designer paper. I want that flat on the bottom. It does make sense? Oh, good. And then we're going to put adhesive on here, which is the back. I don't know what I'm going to do when this Forever Fern retires, because I tell you, I have used it and used it and used it, and I have not seen a card yet. And I think it's been out like 2 or 3 years. I have not seen a card yet that I don't like that's made with this bundle. Oh, somebody's recutting some of their card. That must be Dimity. Yeah, it is. I can tell it's Dimity because she calls it card. We call it cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Tuck that fold in up against that one. Line the bottom up with the bottom of the card. And I'm just going to stick my finger in there and burnish it. And then close it and attach it. And you want to make sure that you give it a good burnish so that it doesn't part neighborhoods. There, so I'm just going to go over it with I've got my bone folder here, and I'm just going over top of it. And then I'm going to lay this down and kind of tuck it in there on both sides of that tab that's in there. And there we go. So there's the inside. Now you'll see that this is a little bit bowed, and that's where that 1/16 of an inch comes from. So guys, if you're enjoying this video, hit that emoji. Let Facebook know that you think this is good content, because then it will send it out to more people. So right down at if you hover over top of the Facebook thing, you'll see all the emojis coming up. Just click on those. Thank you. That's awesome. Okay, so let's do the one from the other side. So this is the side where the fold is, and there's the join right there. So this is the side that's going to attach to that. So we'll put some adhesive on there. Maybe I can get it to work. So there we go. We got our adhesive on that side. Now you're going to flip it over. And put adhesive on the back, the part that's going to stick to the card base itself. So now you know why you have to put your designer paper on first. More adhesive everywhere. Good gosh. So tell me, if you were to choose between rhinoceroses and hippopotamuses, what would you choose? A hippo or a rhino? Do you have a favorite? I do. Can anybody guess what my favorite is between hippopotami and rhinoceri? Okay, so you tuck that in there by the fold. Give it a little bit of a movement so you know that it's not binding. Have it laying right flat against the bottom. And I'm just going to push that in there with my finger and then close the card and burnish that. Oh, we got votes coming in. Hippos versus, let's see, we got 1 hippo, 1 rhino, 2 rhinos, 3 rhinos, 2 hippos, 4 rhinos. Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought that hippos would be more popular. They're more popular for me. And if you hang out next week in my VIP group, you may find out. Oh, wait, not next week. What's the date today? 6th? No, 2 weeks. Okay, starting the 17th, if you hang out in my VIP group and get my post on the morning of Monday, the 17th of April, you will find out why hippopotamuses, hippopotami, I don't know how you say it, is my favorite, because there is a reason they are my favorite. Okay, so there we go. We got our planters done. Yay! That's the card. It's difficult. I love that the hippos are back in the zoo crew. Are they? Oh, I'm going to have to get some. I didn't order any of that. It is a hard choice. No, I like hippopotami. You'll find out on the 17th. Mark it on your calendar. 17th of April, 8 a.m. Pacific time. You will find out why hippopotami are my favorite. Uh-oh, I didn't get that lined up properly. That's not good. Am I going to be able to? I really squished that down too. I have to move it because otherwise when I closed the card, it was out of alignment and it was showing there. Okay. We're going to do the decoration part now. Now that we've got the card is done, the base of the card is done. Now we just have all the decorations that need to be done. So before I put that onto the white, I am going to die cut this out of the middle of it. So this is scallop contour die number 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that's going to get cut out of that. And then this one is for the inside. Now, I was told that that's not wide enough, but you see, you could put this one in there. We'll put that. I need a bigger piece of designer paper. What's this one for? Hang on. I have to figure out what these are for before. That's for stamping. This is for the inside tag, but I have a whole thing of stamping. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 of these and we'll put one on the inside. That's for you, Connie. Just so you have more room to write. All right, so running this through the machine. So there's one, and I'll run another one through. Because I've got the paper, I might as well use it, right? And you'll see the difference between the little one and the big one. Shanna, did you order the Zoo Crew paper? I think it was on the pre-order list, right? Did you guys know that as demonstrators, we get to order a whole month in advance from the new catalog? Yeah, we do. Okay. And man, oh man, do I like that month. And I think I like that side. I'm just going to put that right onto the white and then we'll put it on the front. And then there'll be less hanging around to confuse me. Because you know, it doesn't take much to confuse me these days. So if you are looking and you are like me and you want everything, oh, yours shipped. Mine hasn't even shipped yet. I'm so impatient and upset because I stayed up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I stayed up late, got my order in at 11, and it hasn't even shipped yet. So I don't know when it's coming now. My catalogs have shipped, but that doesn't help me get any of the new product. And I want it to take to Powell River when I go over for my class. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. This is a bit too long. I'm just going to slice a bit off of it so that it fits on that white cardstock a little better now that I've completely destroyed it. Oh, who's that supposed to be there? Nancy. Oh, Nancy, lucky. I don't, honest to goodness, I don't know why mine hasn't shipped yet. None of the stuff that I put in at 11 o'clock on the 4th has shipped. Oh, that's not straight. I don't know. Your second order. You put in 2 orders? Lucky you. Yes, me too, Debbie. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Sorry, this is crooked. Ah, Sugar Shack. All right. We're just going to pretend that it's straight, right? Okay, I'm not going to fuss with it. Oh, Tracy, yours hasn't shipped either? Man. And then I went back and I reread, and it said that the shipping department is 8 days behind. Well, they better get their butt in gear because I want my stuff. I'm supposed to be doing swap cards for the 22nd of April, and I had to tell them today I have to change. I can't do a new thing because I'm not going to have my order in time. Okay, so there's my front, right? Right. This one, I'm going to die cut this. The vellum, I think if you put in early, they held them up to the ones. Shanna watched unboxing. Might have needed a few. You were influenced, were you? No. Tracy says no point in expediting shipping in rural Saskatchewan. It takes 10 to 14. I know. My friend Leanne lives in rural Saskatchewan, and I feel so sorry for her because her stuff takes so long to get to her. Okay, so this I'm going to do number 4 scallop contour die. So I'll run that through. I don't know what their reasoning is. To me, those that order first should be shipped first, unless you pay for expedite. So get the expedited ones out and then work on the new one. But don't skip and do somebody, because I know people who did not expedite and their order is arriving way ahead of when mine is. They've already got theirs coming and mine hasn't even shipped yet. Okay. I'm organizing here the pieces that I don't need. That one I'm going to die cut and then I'll be able to get it out of the way. Because then I have to stamp and we have to count how much we need to stamp. Jana shipped a parcel to her mom in port on Tuesday and arrived today. Wow. I mailed my northern grandchildren their Easter cards on Monday and they got them yesterday. Like, that's an entire half a province away, 3/4 of a province away. Canada Post is on the ball, unless it's something that you really need to get there in time, and then I think they drop the ball. Okay, puff balls. Puff balls. And the ink I'm using, Blackberry Bliss, Evening Evergreen, and Soft Succulent. 2 colors I am going to really miss when they retire. Yeah. I know. I don't know who that is. Facebook user, it must be. Oh, Dimity. I know. I don't understand. I had mine in, well, midnight, like maybe 10 after midnight Stampin' Up time, which is 11 o'clock our time. And people were ordering at 6 and 7 in the morning, and theirs have shipped and they received them already. Not me. Hasn't even shipped yet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puff balls. So this is what I call the puff ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have done this ahead of time. Oh my gosh, we're going to be here forever. Maybe I'll just do some of them and you'll get the idea. Okay, now the next one is this one, and this one is going to, oh, let's stamp the sentiment while I got that open, because it goes on this one in Blackberry Bliss. Then I can put that on there. Okay, here's where we pray it goes straight, because I'm not putting it on anything. Oh, perfect. Okay, next is Soft Succulent. And this one, so I need 1, 2, 3. 3 of those. Turn it around. 1. We could be here till midnight doing this card. If I was smart, I would have had this all done ahead of time. 3 of those. Okay. And then I need one of these, this little one for the front. So we'll just slide it in there. And then, so that I just have the dark one left. And then in here, I need 1, 2, 3 of these ones. And you don't have to be use as many of these as I did. But I did a straight case of this card from Heidi Smith because I absolutely love it. Okay, so that's it for soft succulent. Now evening evergreen, and I don't think I'm going to have enough. I need one of these for the front and two for the inside. Okay, let me get some more white because apparently I don't have enough. So I need to do 3 of these. So how are you guys doing out there? Did you get your card done? Are you just, now that you've got the base done, are you just sitting there relaxing and watching me stamp and die cut? How fun will that be? There we go. Valerie saw a demonstrator who had one sheet of the grid paper laminated to use when making messy cards. Oh, yeah. Smart, but I didn't do that. Okay, dies. We need the dies. So this die is this one. And you remember I showed a little trick the other day on die cutting, and I will show you that trick again. I'll just get one cut out because where are my scissors? I have to cut this apart now because it's too wide to go through my machine. So I have tasked my husband to figure out what excursions he wants to do on the ship. Yep, it's been 3 days. I even gave him a list of the ones because we have to be careful with his mobility issues. We have to be careful which ones we go on. We can't go on ones that demand a lot of walking because he wouldn't be able to do them. So I said, here are the ones that I think are good. They're mostly bus tours. And I'd like to see parts of Norway while we're there, even if it's from the inside of a bus. I don't care. I just want to see the countryside. Normally we would do a rigid inflatable boat trip, which is what we did in Alaska and when we went to Greece. But he can't do it this time, so it's not going to happen. Okay, puffball one. I'm watching and just checking to make sure you have my address. Nope, sorry, I don't have your address, Val. I don't have it indelibly printed in my brain. The hardest thing is to get these things lined up. It should be matte laminated to the lights glare on it. Oh yes, that would be a problem. You're right. Okay, got one more little one here that I need to put a die on. Not that die, this die. Then I'll run them through. And then I'm going to show you the trick for lining your dies up, which I showed. I don't remember when I showed it, but I know I did. I remember I did. And Marlene said it works wonderful for her. So I'll show you again. Okay, let's just whip this through here. There we go. Those two. Put this one through. You still have to use Post-it notes or washi tape to hold them in place, but it makes the placement and the lining up a lot easier. So don't forget about my birthday special happening for the next 4 weeks. There's one product this week. It's the Naturally Gilded Specialty Designer Paper. And see that? I got it lined up perfectly. Yay! Naturally Gilded Designer Paper on for 15% off this week. So you have to let me know during the week if you want that product. You can't let me know on May the 4th that you want to go back. Well, I guess you could. Sure, let's do it that way. I'll allow that. So you can just sit back and relax, and then on the 4th of May, tell me, okay, from week 1, I want 2 packages of that paper, and from week 2, I want blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I took the die cut of the first one that I did, and I've placed it over top of the stamped image. So it allows me to do a quicker and better placement of where the dies are going to be. It moved because I picked it up. So now, there, I've got it lined up. So now just take your die, put it back in that hole, and it will slip right down into the hole. And then put your washi tape or Post-it notes on there like that. And because it's already cut out, it's only going to cut the paper underneath. So let me run it through and I'll show you what I mean. It's a really cool trick, and I had completely forgotten about it until I saw it on. Well, that's interesting. No, it's fine. Okay, there we go. So see? Perfect. So you take your negative. So this is called the negative. Lay it over top of your stamped image. Get it lined up. Take your die, plop your die down in the hole, and it will fit right down in there. You don't even have to do much to make it go there. And then, just let me cut this off. Then I can put more than one in through there. There we go. So I'll run that through, and then take this one off. It works for all die cuts. Okay, this one's going to be a little more difficult because I got really close there. All right, pop this out. It does work like a charm. That must be Marlene. Oh, Facebook, you rotten thing. Still not showing me who's saying. Ah, yes, that was Marlene. It does, Marlene. Then you just pop it back over top. Line it all up. Just gently make sure that it's exactly where you want it. Put the die back in the hole. And run it through. Okay, I am not, oh, I can't use that one because I cut it in half. That was dumb. Oh well. I'm not going to cut all these out because I'll just finish it off afterwards, but I want to show you some of the placements. So we'll just line this up. That one will go. And another puff ball here. Sometimes the hardest part is getting them off of those Post-it note pieces. And once again, line it up. You never know what I'm going to share with you how to do when I do my Facebook Lives. Sometimes I sing. Facebook gets mad when you sing, let me tell you. But I've been really good at not singing lately, and they haven't yelled at me. So there we go. Get that all in there. Glue that one down. And just run this whole thing through. Oh, that was smart, Wendy. Wendy made a template with all the cuts on it. That's like planning. Okay, I think we'll do some assembly now. I've got enough pieces that I'll be able to show you most things, where most things go. Once I get these out, of course. Put my dies away so I don't lose them, because I do all the time. I lost a stamp one day. I looked and I looked and I looked. It took me a long time to find it. And I was having a class and I needed the stamp. And do you think I could find that sucker? That was almost an hour. And then I thought, well, I wonder. Ooh, I didn't get that one lined up very good. I wonder if it got attached to something, because I'd already taken the class stuff out to the studio. And I wondered if it had become attached. And there it was. It was attached on the side of a block. So it was here. Weird. Okay, where's my card? There it is. Okay, so on the inside, these big ones are going to go here. One there and one over here. Like that. Let's just get some. I'm going to cut the feet off, because the feet, also known as the stem, because they annoy me when they stick out like that. Okay. Get some adhesive on here. So has anybody got big plans for the weekend? Do in the comments and tell me, are you cooking a big Easter dinner? Are you staying home? Are you going somewhere? Okay, so this one I'm going to put here, and just making sure that that's not going to bind that fold there. And then put one on the other side too. Like that. And then one of these, I'm going to cut the stem on that one too. No invite, Sal? Nah, I don't have any either. But I got a new book today. I got Diana Gabaldon's Go Tell the Bees I'm Gone. So I'm going to do some reading this weekend. All right, so that one's going to go in there. And then, did I cut another one? Yeah, I did. Okay, just cut the feet off of that one. They slide in a little bit nicer when you cut the stem off. And then this one, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to kind of tilt it so that it kind of makes a roundy spray thing happening. Okay, now this is going to go on the front of this. So one there like that. One right on the front. And then one on the other front. Oops, wrong side, woman. I said the front. And I have to cut the feet off that again, because it's going to go down rather low. That's going to go on the front there, like that. And I don't think I cut any more out. So then I would put another one here. You see, 1, 2, 3. So offset them a little bit. And then one of these. Oh, I'm showing you that. See, so the puff balls are against the front here. These ones are against the back of that tab that's in there. And then these ones are flat on the card. So you get a three-dimensional type thing happening. Sandwich or something. Ah, sounds good to me, Connie. No cooking involved. I think that's what we're going to have too when I'm reading my book. Debbie's having a big dinner, second set of kids from Grand Prairie. Oh, nice. Connie's cooking a big Easter dinner with her daughter and her boyfriend. And Bruce, lucky Bruce. Carmen's going to friends for supper on Sunday. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, Valerie's still deep into her renovations. Good job, Val. I don't know what our weather is going to be. Right now, it's just pouring rain. Absolutely pouring rain. So if that continues, nothing exciting is going to happen outside in my world. All right. Pop that back there, and that goes on the front of the tab on the inside, like that. And then one more. I need to cut another puff ball because I can't put that one in without it. Where's my puff ball die? Puff ball, where are you? You guys don't have anything else to do with your life, right? You can hang out with me for 3 or 4 hours to create a card. All right, come on, cut out. There. Oh, thanks, Debbie. At least it isn't snowing. You're right, Carmen. At least it's not snowing. Oh, Connie and Carmen both said, at least it's not snowing. Yay. I agree. It better not snow because I was out and brought all my stuff out of my pots out of storage the other day and put them outside, and better not snow. Okay, I'm going to put this one, goes on the front of that inside tab like that. And then this other green one goes on the back of it. So you've got lots of different heights you can have with this card. You just have to see how I'm trying to get my fingers in there so I can push them on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so then you just fill up the other side too. But I don't have the pieces die cut for it. All right, so on the front, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put this onto this because then I'll know where to put my adhesive for my vellum. Because I don't care what kind of adhesive you have, it still shows through vellum. So I always try to put my cardstock on first so I will know where to put the adhesive and hide it in behind the cardstock. There we go. See, now I have all that area to put adhesive on. You enjoy listening to me chat? Oh my. Oh, Nancy. All right. So those of you that are part of my monthly tutorial subscription, I'm hoping to get it out tomorrow because I was going to do it today and I completely forgot. I got busy prepping Rhino cards and then I was on a Zoom meeting. You know, I'm sorry. I absolutely forgot. So I will get it out tomorrow. All right. I need this one. This one goes down. Oh, it is for someone special, Janet. Did I mention my birthday's coming? Yep. 43rd annual 23rd birthday party. And it's really easy for me to remember how many annual birthday it is because I stopped counting my birthdays when I had kids. So my kids will be 43 on the 17th of April. Can you imagine? Young old me has 43-year-old children. How the heck did that happen? It didn't bother me when they turned 20. It didn't bother me when they turned 25. It didn't bother me when they turned 40. When they turned 30, I had a dose of reality. It was like, oh my God, they're old. Must mean I'm old. Nope, I'm not. Okay, this one's going to go down first. Get some adhesive on it, maybe. My adhesive will cooperate. So these, the Stampin' Seal refills, are going up $3.50, people. I think it's $3.50 in the new catalog. So make sure you get some ordered before the new catalog pricing comes in. Okay, so that one goes down first. And there's adhesive all over the place here. I need to go and check on that now that I've said it because price increases. Let's see what this says. Hang on. Don't go away. Yes, $3.50 for Stampin' Seal refill and $2 for Tombow glue. So it's worth getting an order in now. Unfortunately, you can't wait. Oh, my glue is leaking. You can't wait till the 4th of May and do it all at once because it'll be, the new pricing takes effect on, there was an air bubble in there. Oh Lord, that was terrible. The new pricing takes effect on the 3rd of May. Isn't it nice that Stamping Up is celebrating my birthday by releasing a new catalog? I love it. I use a lot of Tombow too, Valerie. I do. Okay, so this is going to go over here. Oops, I got to cut the feet off because I don't want them hanging down there. There we go. This is going to go on here like that, over top of that. Okay. Now this one, cut the feet. It goes on next. Are you still hanging in there? This one's going to go over here like that. And then I'm going to finish it off this little dude. Let's just use the glue that I've got hanging around there. And then a puff ball. And I'll have to cut one because I don't have it. So this one's going to kind of tuck in here like that. There. Now I should have another puff ball. Let's get rid of that because it's got glue on it. Just what I need, right? I lost my puff ball. Oh, Tracy, this one, lovely as a tree, and this one will never leave my craft room. So if you're waiting for my BOGO sale and you want to get this bundle from me on my BOGO sale, it's not going to happen because it's going in my don't ever get rid of drawer. I love it so much. It makes my heart happy, you know, when I use it. And it doesn't matter what colors you use, that's still beautiful. And like I said earlier, I don't think I have ever seen a card made using this stamp set that I didn't like. Yeah, thanks, Carmen. I think they were kind of cool to bring it out for my birthday too. how to celebrate my birthday. My sister's birthday is on July the 1st. And she was always told me, you know, all of Canada celebrates her birthday. So thank you, Stampin' Up, for celebrating mine. All right, now you will look at the puff balls. Can you see the difference in the puff balls? That's because now I'm going to take Wink of Stella and I'm going to reactivate that Blackberry Bliss ink. This ink is the one that works best for this technique. You don't have to do anything to it. Just paint over top with your Wink of Stella. It reactivates the ink, makes a lovely pinkish background, and smooths out all of those detail lines that are in there. But of course, it takes a long time, so I'll only do the front one. You'll get the idea. But I did them all on the original one when I made it, because this is one of my favorite techniques to do. This one, and another favorite technique is backgrounds, sunset backgrounds. And you wait until you see my card that I'm doing on the 20th of April. So on the 17th, I'm going to start this whole rhino thing. There's going to be fun stuff to do, and there's going to be samples. And then on the 20th, I'm going to do a card using all of the techniques that I show you. And it uses one of my other favorite techniques, which is making sunset. You can visit me. We could swim and make cards together. Oh, who is that? Oh, Dimity. Australia is high on my bucket list of things I want to do. It's also Ted's sister's birthday. So apparently July 1st is a popular birthday day, right? Okay, now I'm going to add some in color opal rounds because I can, if I can find my poker tool. And I think I'm going to stick to the light pink ones because there's not a lot of green on this one. And these are just so pretty, and they're retiring. Where am I going to put this one? Maybe I'll just put it right there or up there. No, up there. Let's stick it right there in the corner. Nope, don't like it up there. Oh, Terry, if you're watching, I'm having issues again with my embellishment placements. There we are. Good, I'm done. So these are retiring. Now let me see if they're on sale. Look at the new color lineup. Look. Ooh, they're so pretty. Okay. Embellishments. First of all, I have to find out what page they're on. Embellishments. In color opal rounds are, hello, where are you? There they are, in color opal rounds on page 142. Okay, let's go to the list. Embellishments. In color opal rounds. Oh my gosh, they are on sale. Hang on. 20% off. So instead of $9.40, they're $11.75. Ooh, a bargain. Did you know that there's discounts on this stuff? 50% off of in color matte dots. So that's these things. These ones are 50% off. And they're in Orchid Oasis, Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, and Parakeet Party. 50% off. So they're $5.50 for a whole package of embellishments. Ooh, that's cheap. Have you guys gone through this list and seen all these things that are on sale? And don't forget my In Color Club. I should tell you about that too, because I've got an In Color Club and a New Color Club. And it's a really cool way to get everything on a budget. I printed out, oh, there they are. I was going to say, I printed out my graphics. Okay, so In Color Club, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, and Pebbled Path. 1 color a month for 5 months. You get the ink pad, the cardstock, the ink pad, the reinker, and the blends every month in the color that's selected. And then you get month 1, you get the markers. Month 2, you get the In Color dots. Month 3, you get luster paper. Month 4, you get fishing designer paper. So I chose this instead of the In Color designer paper because I thought it was a little bit more versatile than the 6x6. So this is 12x12. And on month 5, you get the jute twine, and it's in all of these colors. It's the In Color jute twine. $75 a month, shipped direct to you, and each month 2 free card kits. And at the end of the 5 months, I'll give you a package of In Color pearls for last year's colors. So that's the In Color Club. Now, I also have a New Color Club. These are both starting in May. So if you want to get, you can do one club or both clubs. And if you do both clubs, I'm going to send you a free gift from me. Okay, so there's all the new colors. Aren't they gorgeous? I'll put them up close. Look at them. Ooh, look at that. Now, my printer's not the best, so these colors all look really close, but they're not. So each month you will get in cardstock, ink pad, reinker, and blends for 2 colors. So these are the new, down to pecan pie. Those are the brand new ones. These are all the returning ones, plus fresh freezy. And I didn't include that because we should all have that by now. So you will get all of those each month for 2 colors. If you already have the returning color, then you can elect to get just one, the new color instead. So $105 gets you 2 colors each month. If you want just one, it's $70. You get 2 free card kits, and we'll craft them together. And each month, so in the In Color Club, there's a hostess each month, and she gets the hostess rewards because I can guarantee what they're going to be. This one, I couldn't guarantee what they were going to be because it's going to depend on whether people do 1 color or 2. So I'm going to take all of the hostess rewards that are earned each month, divide them up amongst the people that are doing the New Color Club. And if you get 2 colors, you'll get a full share. If you elect to do just 1 color, you'll get a half a share. And at the end of the 5 months, I will gift you a package of soft shimmer paper. So In Color Club, $75 a month, one of these colors, 5 months, 5 members, 5 colors, 5 hostesses, free gift of In Color pearls. New Color, $105 a month for 2 colors, $70 a month for 1 color, 5 months. No hostess, everybody shares in the hostess rewards. A free gift of soft shimmer paper. If you get both of them, then I will also send you a free gift. And I'm not telling you what that is because it's going to be a surprise. So the In Color Club only has 2 spots left on it. The New Color Club can run with anybody. It doesn't matter how many there is. I have a few signed up already. It'll just mean the more people, the more hostess rewards to share amongst everybody. Okay. You've gone through the list. Yep, Carmen, it's a list and a half, I tell you. All right, so if you're interested in the Rhino class or In Color clubs, then shoot me a message. I didn't stamp the envelope, but there's what the envelope looks like. because this has taken an hour and a half and it's long enough. Thanks so much, everybody. And if you enjoy this video, please hit one of those emojis. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much. If you're watching on my new YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and then the bell icon so you get notification of them all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have enjoyed this card. Have a wonderful Easter weekend. I will be back on Monday. Yes, I will. 8 o'clock in my VIP group and my Facebook page, so you can catch me in either spots. I will, it's going to take me a while, Wendy, because I have to type it all out, but I'll put the recipe up with the full measuring and scoring for you. I will do that. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles. Bye for now.